Hello, everybody, and welcome to another extremely exhausting episode of X-Men Mayhem. This week, we talk X-Men Dark Phoenix.
X-Men. X-Men.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to X-Men Mayhem. I'm your host, Darren.
I'm your host, Landon, or other
And
host, I guess.
today, yeah, and today we're going to get into the final X-Men movie. Not in the line of ones that we have to watch, but this is the final one with the name X-Men in it. I'm going to move
Yeah,
my camera. There we go.
yeah, yeah. We're both in
Um,
weird camera. Well,
yeah.
I'm standing up in my
I'm stranded
father's
in
kitchen.
space.
Here, hold on. Let me grab my water real quick. We got a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, I had never seen this movie. I had heard
I'm
things
not.
about this movie, but I had never seen it prior to watching it yesterday. Can I tell you something? This might be I've never watched a movie that was so hard to finish. I paused it like four times and left to do something else because
Had
I
to
was
take a
so
minute.
no, I was just so uninterested in what was going on. So I like took it in chunks. It was so, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know. Okay. It started good, I think. Like with the whole thing where they go into space and it was like cool, like all right, yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
there's nice
But
music
then
playing.
like yeah, but then like after that is where it just goes downhill.
Yeah,
I mean, not even Magneto or Professor X saved this movie. I don't know what Magneto was doing. He had like a
yeah.
camp of evil mutants or something. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know what his deal was. Charles is an idiot in this. Um, I think so. Anyways, I don't know if you agree with me there. He should.
He was not the brightest, I would say.
Yeah.
I just had like, oh my gosh, watching this movie, I was texting you throughout the time I was watching it, and I was like, this is maybe the worst thing I've ever seen.
The
It
movie's so
was,
bad I can't even respond to you when I finished.
it was,
I
oh my
went
god,
straight. I went straight to bed.
it ruined my night. I will be honest with you. I, God, and see the timeline. Let's talk about the timeline for a minute because I'm just confused at this point. Like,
Which part do you want to talk about first? With Jean Grey's origin, or
yes, that. First off, we see that in the one where he like Professor X and Magneto go there. Professor X is bald, so that's like we talked about that already in the last one, I think it was.
yeah,
But like now it's like she killed her parents, even though we saw her
he
parents.
he picked her up from like the hospital, and
Yeah, and I'm like none of this
so this is the third time they've like.
and then the end of the movie. We're gonna skip right to the end of it real quick. She dies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How come they never mention this in the other ones that she
She's
died?
back, and they're acting
And
like
then
the
she
Phoenix
has
is
the
like a
same
brand
thing
new
happen to
thing as
her again.
well.
The
Yeah,
same thing happens to her again in the third.
mhm.
Like, what
And
are
they're like, what is this, Scott? You don't remember? You were there.
you?
You
It,
were.
I just don't. Oh my God, I don't get what they were trying to do with this movie.
I,
Like,
okay.
and the villains. Oh, what? What were they like? I think I read that they were supposed to be Skrulls, but they changed their mind last minute. Which I guess makes sense because they were kind of like Skrulls, but they were just there. Like they didn't. He was like, "Oh, we want this power," and we're like, "Why?" And they didn't
I, I
explain why.
I've always I do want to point this out, and I don't like doing this because I always, it's someone's job and all that, and maybe they do great in other things, but I could not stand the actress for Jean in this movie.
Oh yeah, there.
And
Um,
I'm sure she's a nice lady. I'm sure she's great in other things.
I
But
think she
this
got bullied for the role.
did she? Well, and that's
I
wrong to
think so,
do.
if I remember correctly. I know she
I'm
was in
not
Game of Thrones too.
like I'm not, I don't want to send her. You know, obviously don't send her death threats. That's wrong to do. I just it gave me a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman type, but Kal-El
It was
no,
not that bad.
it was. I didn't like it. Every
It
time
was
she
not
was
that
on
bad.
screen, I wanted to like
I
roll
got
my.
hyped when Quicksilver showed up, and he was in it for like 2 scenes. I'm like, what? He's on the team.
He gets busted up, and he's like, "I'm done.
I mean, that
I'm
scene was
out."
cool when he was running on the like the debris
Yeah,
or whatever,
it
and
was
then
cool.
Jean just like, and he goes flying.
And Nightcrawler is pretty decent.
Hold on, they kill Mystique. That's another
Yeah,
canon issue.
she's in it, and you give her the worst line in the movie.
Oh my gosh,
It's very cliche of us two men to say it. I don't like this line,
but
but
it was just too like I would have been fine with it if it weren't so like, oh, let's put this line in there. I'm like, no, it
you
should have been
sure
more
got him.
natural than all of a sudden she's like walking out, she turns around, she says, by the way, it's more of the women saving the men around here. Maybe you should call it ex women, and then turns around and leaves. And
And
I'm like,
Charles is like,
okay,
"What?"
that line could have worked if you just did it better. And
And
it
like
was,
even Charles looked confused.
yeah.
He's like, "What are you talking about?" The best character
Surprisingly,
in this,
Beast
I'd
was
say, is
my
Beast.
favorite. Yeah,
That's
yeah. Nicholas
Beast
Holt.
was the best. I can't remember the guy's name. Who's the
Nicholas
actor?
Holt.
Great. I like him as Beast. I didn't know.
My
Well,
Lex Luthor.
I mean, I love
There we go.
Fraser more. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah.
he
I just
not
like
bad.
watching I just like watching this because I'm like, this guy's gonna be playing Lex Luthor in like a year. And I'm like,
This guy's
okay.
bald right now.
Yeah. Um he was good. I don't know, there's just so much not
Wrong.
good. Yeah,
Wrong.
like it was so uninteresting. Like you
Well,
did the Dark Phoenix story, but you do the Dark Phoenix story in a
so
boring way.
here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that somehow they were going to involve time travel with it
Oh.
because it doesn't make any sense. Mystique died, and here she is in the later movies, and
Well, I this was like this movie was sort of hinted at, I guess, in the old ones, because when they uncovered Jean having the whole Dark Phoenix thing in the third X-Men movie, they hinted that this has happened before. They Charles had a line about that, which I guess this would be that, but it doesn't make sense that she dies at the end of this. I thought they were gonna be like, oh, we extracted it, but we guess we didn't get all of it or something.
yeah, yeah.
But
You
like,
know,
I
is
don't
there a
know.
chance of it come back? Well, I don't know. We'll see. And it's just because that's what I was gonna think. I was like, maybe they do it, but then they travel way back in time where Jean somehow her origin's different, where she didn't kill her
Yeah,
parents. It's like what we see in the timeline.
yeah.
Um,
They, I'm trying to remember. I mean,
like
so
I
like you
understand
basically
if
have
they
like. What-
no, all I was gonna say is like I understand if there is timeline issues from really like X Men. It's the third one where you see him in the third X Men movie all the way to this one that was like what 10 years later. I understand if you got different people in the writing room, different directors and stuff,
Over 10
but
years, I think, actually.
but it doesn't make sense that 4 to 5 years prior you set up this whole new timeline of this is what actually happened. You know, Char, it Charles had a full head of hair and was met Gene on his own and stuff, but like how come 5 years prior you don't connect that somehow? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. And you get this whole thing where like these weird aliens are trying to take the Phoenix Force out of Jean and they want to control the world or something. And
Yeah,
then you have Magneto trying and not Cyclops, Magneto and Beast want to go kill Jean. Beast goes
yeah,
over to Magneto's side in this.
yeah.
That
Which
was weird.
I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because of Mystique dying.
Well, everyone's
Um,
like pissed off at Charles just about because I'd be pissed too because he should have let Beast take the freaking shot.
yeah.
Because It
He
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
let him. He
killed
wanted
her, right?
Mystique to do.
Or was that going to
It.
kill her? Or would it
I think it.
tranquilize her?
They didn't. I don't think they knew if it would or not.
Yeah.
But they wanted Mystique to see if she could do something, and then
I
somehow
would have. I mean, I would be like, it's not right because I mean, at that point, you see freaking Quicksilver get knocked down, and
yeah.
I mean, her like destroying a whole house, and, and Charles was like, no, let Mystique try to do it, and I'm just like,
I
no,
did
dude,
really.
let
I'll
Beast
tell you
take the
what.
shot.
I liked one scene in this movie, which was it was with Magneto, and it was when Jean showed up and all of the military was there and everything,
Yeah,
and she like took the helicopters and was doing all this stuff and wrecking shop, and then Magneto looks at her and is like, "You need to leave." He says, "You're too powerful." And even Magneto's scared of her.
yeah,
And I'm like, that's crazy that you have
yeah.
like this guy who's like always like, oh, Charles thinks you're too powerful, come with me. And now he's like, you are way too powerful, get away from me.
You are way too far. I say if I had a favorite scene, it was definitely the
I
spaceship
Yeah, the beginning.
in the
That was a
beginning.
good scene.
I something about that I really did enjoy.
I
Um,
think that Michael Fassbender as Magneto is actually pretty good casting. I
yeah,
don't know what was up with him in the first one that he was in. He was talking an American accent, first
yeah,
class. I don't know what that was about, but yeah. So I don't know. Magneto had that one good scene, but
yeah.
there's just like this movie was an hour and 56 minutes, so it was like shorter than an average movie, but it felt longer than like every movie I've ever seen.
I mean, it felt super long. It was like what 2 hours and what?
It was an hour and 56 minutes.
No, no, it wasn't. There's no way it was.
It was an hour and 56 minutes.
Dude, that felt it really. It was so long. It felt like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was bad. I don't. I hate to say it, but I mean that's what I mean. We're not in ratings yet, but I might give it a one. Just about.
I Well, we're basically at the ratings. We're at
I
because I said
I don't.
there was no post credit scenes. So it didn't set anything up.
Yeah,
Because this was the end. This movie came out in
2019.
2019. Yeah, so actually
Yeah,
it's more recent of a movie. It's kind of weird to think that we're not that far away from the last time Fox made an X-Men film.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I guess we could rate it. I'm gonna
It,
give this movie a 1.5 out of 10 because half is for Magneto since he did do a little bit but not much, and the other one is just because Beast was there.
yeah. What really
Oh,
my one is Beast. I ain't like. Hey, guess who I forgot was in the movie?
who?
Storm
Oh, well, she didn't do anything but blow wind at people. I don't know what she was.
and told Scott off
Yeah,
as she should,
Cyclops is
honestly.
another. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't like he was kind of characterized better than James Marsden was.
Not as good as he was in Apocalypse.
Well, no. Well, he was more of a focus in that, I think.
Mhm.
But
I
like,
just what a way to go out in the series. We hit
well,
some bangers,
they
but
technically
this
have
one,
one more, and that would be the New Mutants, which I've
which
heard
I hear
mixed
is
things
decent.
about. I heard a lot of people when it came out say it was bad, but I hear a lot of people now say it's actually really good.
So
So I'm
yeah,
interested. That movie has Magic in it. The uh the blonde mutant girl, I don't know
yeah,
her, and apparently a few other people. It's a horror movie, I think.
yeah. It has like the Demon Bear.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh,
Um, so I'm interested that that'll be the next one, and then we'll be on to Deadpool 2 and end it off with Logan.
and
Um,
then then
and
Deadpool
then
and Wolverine.
um, yeah,
Uh,
1.5 and a 1. That's crazy. That's our lowest
yeah,
review ever.
it is, and we gave Hulk a 3 and a 4, and
This movie,
Green Lantern
this
was
is in
higher.
my, this is in my like Green Lantern's not even in my top 3 least favorite comic book movies. This
Mm.
is there with like I don't even know Thor: Love and Thunder and I don't know
Love,
something.
Love and
Ant-Man.
Thunder
I
was
almost said Quantumania, but it's not. Quantumania is not that for me.
I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is worse than Quantumania.
No.
I think
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely. That is not a
At
fun.
least Quantum Mania has a good villain in it.
Well, I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp had Lawrence Fishburne. Don't ask him that though; he wouldn't know.
He wasn't.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, you really forgot. I don't blame
uh,
him. I don't blame him.
but yeah, very low score for Dark Phoenix. Honestly, kind of deserved. The movie was bad. Like I said,
What,
next week we will
what a way
be
to go
back.
out on this series just about
Yeah.
in a
We'll be
one.
back with the New Mutants, then Deadpool 2, then Logan, then Deadpool and Wolverine. We're officially 4 weeks away. I don't know, something. Um
Around 3 weeks. I think when Logan comes out, we will be seeing Deadpool that weekend.
yeah.
I think so.
Uh yeah, that Friday. So yeah. I guess with that we get ready to get out of here. So thank you all so much for joining us for this episode, and we will see you all next week. Bye guys.
See ya.